Hey, welcome folks. So I'm Rick and this channel was called The Prophet, and I just want to put out a happy new year to all of you. Also, I want to make mention, an apology. I haven't been on for months. I did a travel trip and I had poor internet. I returned. I had quite a few doctor's appointments repeatedly. I guess I got a little discouraged with not very focused. But in that, I still want to come out and apologize on a couple things I said that did not come to pass and has not yet come to pass. So the first thing I want to talk about is the war in Russia and Ukraine. Shortly after I saw the war was going to happen in Russia and Ukraine, I saw tanks being loaded up on rail cars and shipped out, and I saw people waving Ukrainian flags. I assumed, I didn't have the word, I saw the picture. I assumed that meant the war was over and Russia would leave Ukraine fairly quickly into the war. Well, we're coming up a year later and it hasn't happened. So part of one of the reasons I stopped for a while is I wanted to say, Lord, why did I make that mention the war would end? And it wasn't long and I realized I had made an assumption. Shortly after the war started in February last year, within March, April, maybe April or May, that many tanks were loaded up from the Kyiv area and were shipped out. So what I assumed was the end of the war was actually just the transfer of military tanks to the east and southern part of Ukraine. You know, there's a scripture that says we know in part and we see in part, and the scripture is there's a lot of times we get words and even dates or not dates, but we assume, and that's where we fall into trouble. And that's what I did. I assumed the war in Russia and Ukraine was going to end because I saw the tanks leaving within weeks after the war had started. I already saw the end of it. Now, do I believe the tanks are going to leave? Yes, I still do. But the concept is I had said it will end early. And I was thinking maybe June, July. And I said I saw women picking flowers. Well, I'm sure that in the Kyiv area that probably happened. Again, my assumption was the pictures I saw, I assumed the war was over. Now, that doesn't mean that it's not this spring when the women pick flowers and Russia is gone. But I won't be so presumptuous to do it twice in a row. Next thing, I also said AMC and GameStop. I felt that there was going to be a lot of change happening in June, July, August, maybe September, October. Well, here we are in February and nothing has happened. Again, sometimes as an optimistic person, I can assume. So I always have to stick to my words I get or the prophetic pictures I see. And the things I saw was ape going way up to $1,000. Now, I wasn't sure if it's ape. When I saw an ape breaking the mountain, I knew it was going to happen, and I believe so. I'm still all in on ape and GameStop. I haven't changed. In fact, I bought more in the downturn. Okay, so those are at least two things I put out there. Let me just give you a couple encouraging words. I haven't really bought or sold anything for quite a while, and I wasn't getting really much for pictures, words on the prophetic. I did get into our XRP. I think that was the last message I may have put out was about XRP. And I still feel that XRP is one to get into. So in the last couple of weeks, about 3 weeks ago, maybe even a month ago, I felt the Lord say it's time to get back into crypto. So I bought some Dogecoin because I really sense, well, I kind of bought Dogecoin after Elon bought Twitter, because I knew that he would use Twitter as a place to talk about Doge. Not a lot that happened, but I seen Doge going over $1. Now, I also bought Lunacy. Now, this is one thing I had stopped doing videos for because Lunacy, for a while there, I had Lunacy to driving me crazy, and I bought some, made money on it, made almost $1,000 on it. Now, when I'm buying like maybe $500-600 worth. So if I make $500 or $700 or $800 on it, I've doubled, or even maybe 60, 75, 80% of what I put in. So I sold it. I was happy, but then if I had held on longer, I would have made almost $5,000. That's when I really stepped out of crypto. I wanted to say, Lord, I hear you when you buy, but I haven't heard you when to sell. So I kind of stepped out and I just took this season to say, why, Lord? Why am I getting this? So I didn't start this channel for me. I get no benefits out of this. This was a channel I started because I wanted to help people. So when I felt that I wasn't helping, of course my health was gone and I've been seeing doctors repeatedly, I backed out. And so I'm sorry, I should have done a short video. I just had lost heart for it for a season. I really had lost focus as I went through so many doctor's appointments, and now I'm having another surgery here in a couple of weeks. But I feel like the Lord's saying it's time to step back into it. So last thing, I bought Gala about a month ago. So it was actually higher than it is now, but it jumped back up and I've made money on it. But the last two and a half weeks ago, I bought Sandbox. Now, I bought Sandbox based on the picture that I saw Lego-like land. And so I originally thought Legoland was the one I was supposed to get into, but when I look at Sandbox, they're all Lego-shaped characters. So I bought Sandbox here 2.5 weeks ago, and I sold it yesterday after I felt the Lord say, like the sand of the sea and the stars of the sky, reference to Genesis, Abraham. And I turned around because a guy I follow is like, man, just don't suck it up and just suck it up and sell, take some profit. And I sold it, and I felt I had done wrong, so I turned around and I bought it back. So I ended up paying the fees, but because it's up today, I've recuperated all that and more. So there's my last things I've been into. There's my apologies, and of course my apologies to so many people who have followed me. I'm sorry, I just had lost heart to do it. I also needed to really pray and say, Lord, why? What's going on? Why did I get things wrong? What did I see? Or what did I perceive to be wrong? So blessings to you all. I don't know how often I'm going to make videos, but not as far apart as the last break. Okay, bye-bye.